What's up, artists and art enjoyers? This one's coming out, or just like the next day. I completely forgot that today was Saturday. Well, I did and I didn't. At first I forgot, and then I went to go and edit the video because I already have these clips like pre-recorded. And then I forgot that I was editing the video, and I was just, carrying on with my day. And then I realized at 11 p.m. I'm like, oh wait, I didn't publish that video. So yeah, this one's gonna come out late, but whatever. It's still gonna be in the same weekend, so as long as it comes out, I guess that's all that matters. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about planning out your comic or manga. Well, in this instance, webcomic. Anyway, I personally plan out my stories by scripting, and if there's art, I storyboard as well. There are many ways to script. You can do a more free flow of scripting where you just write the gist of the scene, such as, let's use Monkey as an example. You just say, in this scene, Monkey goes to a cafe and he meets a girl and they exchange numbers. Something like that. And just, you make stuff up along the way when you're doing the actual scene, You can make up, he trips on nothing, or like on the wet floor sign and she chuckles and all that. Just add the details as you go. Or you can, be more detailed with your scripting where you describe every little detail, the expressions that they make, what was in the room, what they say, everything. I personally, I script everything that they say. Usually, I script everything, but I don't say where they are usually, because I feel as though that I'm going to remember. And since I storyboard, I'm just like, I know for a fact that I'm going to remember, which is not always what happens, which sucks, because sometimes I have really good ideas and then I just forget. But anyway, I script every little thing that they say. Now I say it out loud to see if it sounds right, and if I believe it sounds right, I put it in the final project. If I don't, I reword things. So how you script is up to you. Just whatever you feel is right. Occasionally I like to write how they feel and their expressions, just like a smidge bit, or I like to draw a little emoji next to what they say. And so, that is kind of helpful, since I usually do stories that have drawings in them. So once I'm done with most of the scripting for the story or the scenes, I go ahead and storyboard. Storyboarding is essentially just a nice little sketch. As you can see, right here where I'm inking on top of the storyboard that I did for it. You can see that it was a stick figure body, and obviously in the final project I'm not going to leave it like that. And there's no background. Usually if I'm not going to have important stuff, I'm not going to put it in the background. So, I just like to fill it in on the way when I actually finish the whole thing. Just like the storyboarding, it's essentially like a name or a thumbnail. But it's more detailed than a thumbnail or a name. So, it's just a little more detailed, I'd say. My storyboarding for my manga of Black, when it was going to be a manga, it might be a webtoon now, a webcomic now, but when it essentially was it was pretty much finished. It was a finished sketch Like, all I would have to do for most of those pages was ink it in black, and it would have been a finished page. But usually I used to do my storyboards very detailed, but it's very time consuming, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of a storyboard. So, like, when you storyboard, you really shouldn't add too many details. Just, like, add things that are important or, like, you think you'll forget in the end. That way, you make sure that you have it in the end. That's all that really matters when it comes to the whole sketching and all that, just to keep important stuff, and then you add the details later if you need them. I know there's such things as like pantsers, but like I feel when it comes to comics, like for a challenge, you should plan it out at least a little bit. Like, you shouldn't just, like, when it comes to story writing in general, you really shouldn't just keep writing without knowing where to go. Like, that's why you should at least have a 3-act plan, where you know what you'll do in the beginning, know what you do in the middle and the end. Even for like just like an episode, like, you don't have to plan out the whole story, just like what you're going to, just little sections, like an episode or a chapter, just any little. You could, like, if it's a series, if you want, you could just do a 3-act structure for the whole story, for the whole book, like for one book if it's a series. But that's kind of very broad, very, So I would suggest doing, like, if you were to do a 3-act structure, I would suggest doing that for each chapter. And before you publish anything, like, in the public, you should probably like plan out a 3-act structure for like at least 2 or 3 chapters, so that way there's no, hopefully there's no what's it called, not plot holes. You don't want plot holes in your story. And if it seems like there's going to be a plot hole, like you want to put something there, like it doesn't make sense, make it make sense. Sometimes you just have to add more scenes to make other scenes make sense. It would be better in the long run, I'd say, if you just add more scenes. You should also definitely plan out your fight scenes for this one, for the call to action contest, because fight scenes, while they're fun to do and stuff, they tend to need at least a little bit of planning, like just like very flowy, yes, but like you should know what the impact is supposed to be, like, even if you don't like physically plan it out, just like plan it out in your head. And I would definitely 100% suggest storyboarding that for this challenge contest, because I just feel as though you should probably visualize it physically, what the fight's outcome will actually be versus like what you're seeing in your head, which I obviously didn't get to that point yet. I'm not done storyboarding the beginning. It's quite a lot of story happening before the actual fight scene in my story, and then it's gonna be like, I believe, like 2 fight scenes, because the first fight scene is very short, and I was gonna end it at the first fight scene, but it just felt very empty. Like, it didn't feel right, and I was like, this doesn't show my full potential, and I don't want them to think, oh, that was it. Like, I want to show you guys more when I actually publish this. So yeah, just stay tuned for the story, and I can't wait to see all of you guys' stories and just everybody that enters. It's such a fun thing to do. I love seeing the community stuff. That's why I love reading Canvas stories. But yeah, anyway, it's getting late, and the video's gonna end pretty soon. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you think it was good and great advice and you want to share to your friends. Good night, guys. I hope I get to see all of your entries. All right.